Hey, how you doing? My name's Michael. Glad you could make it. Today we're going to be taking a look at a video titled Biggest Hits in Rugby League History by a YouTube channel called Goose Step. That's where you'll find the original video. Now, until a few days ago, I had never seen rugby played. I know there's rugby league, rugby union. I had never seen either. I'm sure they're similar with a few differences, but it was a very, very different game than I thought it was. In my head, I had a picture from very limited knowledge of the game, and it was a very different game. Much more wide open, much more athletic, just impressive, you know. And the video I looked at earlier was Best Steps, which, ball carrier, I don't know what they call it in rugby league, but the person with the ball making great moves. And that's what I saw. We're going to go in the other direction, biggest hits in rugby league history. And we're going to see that part of the game. And this is going to be entirely new to me. If you like the video, you can subscribe. That would be very appreciated. Like, comment. I'd love to hear from you. And let's see what we got here. Biggest hits in rugby league history.
The drop punt style bomb this time. Tedesco. Oh, James Tedesco's buried.
That looks like an American football punt return tackle.
Asiata.
Oh, man.
What a hit! Oh, Thompson!
Now, I'm assuming these are all legal hits. They look, I know in rugby you have to stay away from the head, but these look all, I would guess they're legal. You can let me know if I'm incorrect. I mean, they're like shoulder to shoulder, and they're close to the head, but I haven't seen anything that like got up that high. But it sure is brutal.
What a ripper! Hello, Leo. Oh, Michael Jennings. Says the Jake Turpin, here I come.
The phrase "hung out to dry." I mean, the guy caught that pass. He didn't have a moment to do anything before he was hit.
I'm going to give you the rap for that. Redkite now out there on debut, and then Mason gets a shoulder from Kidwell. There's a standing ovation here at Mount Smart, Gus.
That's just power against power.
Good stuff. Rugby gets Kidwell.
Sweeps it away to Foran. Now Marshall King. Oh, what a tackle. Far right. Cop that. Here's Moses for Brown. Oh!
I have a question. I have a question here. I'm assuming, a defender can't tackle or make contact with a player who doesn't have the ball. So you've got to time it perfectly. When the guy, maybe who you're responsible for, gets that pass, then you're right there. But it looks like sometimes they're kind of anticipating because they're moving into it. They're moving towards that guy before he's even caught the pass, and they have to anticipate. And if the pass doesn't come to him, I guess they pull up somehow. And the question is, if a guy with the ball is coming towards you, and you smack him, but he has gotten rid of the ball just before, how much time is there? It's like if a guy gets rid of the ball and the other player catches it, it's gone. Obviously, I would imagine you can't hit the guy who used to have the ball, but I wonder if he gets rid of it and you're already committed. Is that legal? It must be, because you can't pull up if you're totally committed to a tackle.
Pereira. Every time they switch, they maintain that line. Super defense from
Oh, jeez.
Again. This time it's Coyne.
That reminds me of something. If you want to stay around till the end, I'll wait till the end to tell it. But I heard something about rugby said by an American or an American news thing at some point about why they don't have helmets, and I'm realizing now that's totally wrong. So I'll explain that if you want to stick around.
He's trying to lift his side.
Tyrrell has been picked off by probably the tackle of the year.
And Mullen.
Oh man, what are you going to do?
Just the timing he's pulled.
Inflicting damage of his own.
Has been left in the wake.
These guys are so big and fast.
He's at a gymnast.
Cherry Evans has a couple.
Oh, Papali! Stop it!
That looks like just a textbook legal play. I would imagine that's legal. Are there concussions in this sport very often? Because maybe not from the impact, but from the head bouncing on the ground, on the turf, when a guy goes down hard, that could cause a concussion too. Or what other? It looks like these would cause injuries, but these guys might be so conditioned that they're used to taking these this impact. But man, it looks tough.
The sun beaming down on Central Park. Roberts has pulled off a smashing tackle.
I think both coaches may well have written at the top of their notepad.
I don't know who that guy
Now then from Nigel Plum.
Big Samuel! Taken by Evans and Ferguson.
It's taken down a big guy.
And Seguiaro, here he goes. He's got Townsend there.
Oh. That was interesting because in American football, the teammate running beside him, his best thing would have been to get out in front and block. But I don't think you can block in this sport. So in this sport, his responsibility is to stay close enough and slightly behind, I guess, to accept a pass. And he did it, but it looked like the guy with the ball, he faked the pass, but the defender didn't fall for it, and the result was not good.
With a bell ringer!
Yeah, he wasn't going for the fake.
Miller.
That looked up high, maybe.
Brothers
That
from
looked shoulder to the
Tauranga,
head. Oh, that's just textbook.
Tyrrell has been picked off by probably the tackle of the year.
The ultimate commentator. Oh boy! Walsh is shot up by Milford, who's turned hitman today. He got.
Oh, what about that for a shot on corner? He bounced off the ground like a rubber ball. Oh!
See, that guy in green looked like he committed to that guy well before the ball was coming toward him. So maybe he just anticipated or guessed right.
That is an exclamation mark today. Oh.
Same with that. The guy just said.
And Dejan Arce
have
did
this
not
feeling
miss the
about this.
opportunity to nail Schneider.
Grant scheming. John's out the back. Meany. Oh, Moses with a magnificent tackle on Bromwich.
Comes on to Shelford. Oh, and what about that big hit from Lewis?
We're into miracle stage.
The backward pass, maybe it's just called the pass in this sport, but in American football, we call the lateral. And offensively, the lateral's good because you can dish it off, you can fake it, you can use the threat of the lateral to your advantage. On the other hand, the bad part is when someone on the defense anticipates who the lateral's coming to, and they guess right, and that guy gets the ball. There's just no time. You're watching the ball to catch it, and then you're crushed. I mean, that's the way it looks to me. It gives and it takes,
Ball comes out. What a statement.
Come down to Michael Robertson, who will give it to Jason.
Mason King, and Morley said, get a bit of that into you.
Halfway. Here's Guttenbeil. Oh, there's some payback. Retribution from Adrian Morley.
Look at this. Justin Ola gets it on now to
Oh. So that guy didn't fall for the potential lateral. He just said, I'm going after this guy.
Mackay on Ferguson. That's why they call him shoulders. He's lifted him.
Kieran Foran got hit by Sam Tagateasy.
That guy was going so well until all of a sudden he wasn't going so well.
Laurie pouring through. Oh, what a
That's a nice tackle.
Excellent kick.
Nice,
But Dave
perfect
Laurie.
timing.
Townsend long, but look at the contact on Matt Moylan, Darren.
There's been nothing wrong with the form of this man in the game. What a tackle from Roberts. Crunch. And he screams at him to get up and play it.
Across Australia. Next Friday, Kenny Dow.
Oh, it's running to Nigel Plum, one of the renowned big hitters of the game.
There's kick out. Suwali's come up on Villiamy, kick out.
Wow. You know, it looks like when you just look at it, it looks like a lot of the guys with the ball will pretty much directly run into someone who makes the big hit. And I'm thinking maybe they're counting on that guy that they run into not being able to commit, because he's got to keep an eye on the possible lateral. So, but when the guy's running and he sees a guy right there, he might keep going, anticipating this guy's going to have to hedge a little bit one way or the other for a possible lateral. And when they don't, it's just head to head. That's my guess. I don't know, but that's an intense game. American football is so specialized, positions. 6'6", 320 pounds, and then 5'9", 180 pounds on the field, and they do very different things. This game is cool because everybody looks. I think everybody has to do everything. Everybody has to be like, in American football terms, it would be everybody has to be a running back and a receiver and also a linebacker. You don't. In American football, the defense goes out, the offense comes in, and it's just there's never on the same. The defense and offense are separate groups. But this, it looks like they have to play everything, and that's why every one of them looks strong and fast and quick, which is a nice combination in just about any sport you'll find. One thing I want to say is I heard, there's a thing about helmets. I've heard rugby people say, well, American football, they have to wear helmets and all that, and we play rugby without helmets. And one thing I heard from a person once say about rugby, they say they don't have to wear helmets because in rugby, the game is everybody's kind of moving in the same direction, and the tackles are kind of from the side, and there's no real hard collisions. And I can say now that is completely wrong. That's completely wrong. I guess the only way they are able to play without helmets is because I'm assuming the rules of the game really discourage anything to the head, but they're still so vulnerable. It's amazing to watch. On the other hand, I'll say this though about American football with the helmets. I think it's possible other parts of the world have a view of American football uniforms, padding, protection. They think it's a little more extreme than it is. Like, American football these days, they wear a helmet, they wear shoulder pads, which have become very small because everyone's looking to stay as light as possible. So they wear a helmet, shoulder pads, small ones, and that's about it. Other than that, they're wearing tights, lycra tights, and a lycra jersey. But I think it's possible, I don't know, but I think it's possible that some people who aren't from America see American football and assume they're padded like body armor, every part of their body protected. But that's not the case. It's mostly just the helmet and shoulder pads, which the helmet, helps a lot. And if rugby, I don't know if there have been, I think it's a pretty clear penalty when you go up and try to tackle up near the head, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to do it like they do it with no padding, no helmet, which is incredible to watch these guys. Wow, that was, it's an amazing game. I got to watch a full game to see the flow back and forth, but wow, those are some big hits. And that's why they're called the biggest hits in rugby league history, no question about that. It's a great game, so different than I thought, much more athletic, much more wide open, much more fun to watch. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.